Good morning, good afternoon, um, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SKTV. Welcome to today's edition. Welcome and welcome to each and every one of you. Let's share the show, guys. We have a lot to talk about today. As you are coming on, share the show, please. Sekou will be joining us momentarily in just the next few minutes here. No, he's getting ready to join us. But let's share the show as you joined. Share the show, please, and please. A lot of things to talk about. Share the show, please. Share the show. Share the show, please. I'm trying to settle something here really quick. Today we have a lot to talk about. A lot, and a lot to talk about. So let's share the show. Let's share the show, please. We have a lot to talk about. Plenty of things going on. Plenty of things going on. Let me talk it in a Labrador way. Plenty of things going on. Plenty thing. Plenty thing. I say in a Labrador way. Plenty thing going on. Let's share the show. Yeah, plenty thing going on. Plenty. Let me say that the wrong way. Plenty thing going on, my people. Plenty thing going on. Hey, there's a lot to talk about. But let's share the show. As you come on, share the show. Share the show. As you come on. Let's share the show, guys. Sekou will be joining us momentarily. We will bring you updates from the death case with we'll brief you on it, give you some information about it. The former, give me a second here. Give me a second. Sorry, I had to take that call. We'll be revisiting the Gloria Mususcat's case. Some of the later updates that the public may not have yet. Some things that are unfolding behind closed doors. We'll talk briefly about them. We'll talk briefly about what's unfolding within the opposition. What's happening within the Unity Party, Joseph Boaka. They can be a better than the culture again. But no problem. We not get issue with you. I know the show will be noisy. I can tell you that for a fact. The show will be noisy, but let's share the show, guys. Let's share the show. We'll also briefly touch on some moves that are being made in Liberia by the Liberian government, by extension to have international partners involved. We'll talk about all of those things. Sorry, let me fix my shirt here. We'll talk about all of those things. These are things that we'll talk about during the elections time. We'll talk about, as we said, if you look at the topic here, some factors that must be considered for the general elections. There are many factors that have to be considered, but we'll talk about some of the factors, some of the things that are playing, what you see on YouTube, social media, other outlets, what you hear from certain people with dented character issues are not the thing. They're not the truth. They're playing games. They're setting the stage for 2023, not only for distraction. But this is the program today, as always, very informative, very educative. Today is March the 11th, 2023. We're almost in the middle of the month, 5 more days. We'll be talking about half of March and potentially talking about March ending. Can you imagine? Can you phantom that? Just think about it. We were just saying Happy New Year to each other. Now we're calling on the year to end, the year to be headed to June. We got March, April, May, June. We're in the middle of the year. Let's share the show. Um, let's share the show. Like I said, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to discuss. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, and a lot. Share the show, please. Share the show. Let's not joke. Let's share the show. We'll bring you other news. So as you write, we'll let you know. But like I said, you don't want to miss today's conversation. Very, very, very interesting things we'll talk about. We will lay out some situations. We'll talk about the most recent tons, rents, but information provided by both Costa and his political leader, Benin Ure. Whenever you see, the last time I saw Costa and Benin Ure appearing like this, it was to set up a bogus case against Mr. Cummins. So every time they appear like this, something is up. And yes, something is up. We'll talk about some of these things. I know many of you might have forgotten, but we have not forgotten. We keep track and we keep record. Let's share the show. Another appearance of Costa and his political leader. It means something's happening. But let's share the show, guys. Please, let's share the show. I am not seeing, some of you are in different chat rooms. Let me visit one of the chat rooms before I start greeting you. We can say one by one. My people are now on Facebook, so I'm able to share the show or say anything. So you'll share the show for us. Please, you'll share the show. You'll share the show. You'll share the show. Y'all please share the show. Y'all please share the show. We have a lot to talk about, my people. Oh, we have a lot to talk about. Oh, we have just a lot to talk about. We'll be recognizing you in a jiffy. We have a lot to talk about, but we'll be recognizing you really quick. For those of you who have written, who've tuned in, we want to say thank you before we get to the musical break. We'll bring you other news. Before we get to the musical break, we get into other news really, really, really quick. Lots of interesting stuff to talk about today. I'm excited as well. I'm excited to have this conversation. Yes, I'm not on Facebook, so please share the show. I'm begging you to share the show for us. You'll help us to share the show. A lot of things are happening. My people. Some of them you don't know about them. A lot of things. When you come on, please let us know where you're following us from or where you're watching us from, please. It's important to us so that we can identify you per your location and tell you thank you for following us. Today's March 11th, 2023. Today's Saturday. Welcome to SKTV. If you're listening to us, regardless of which platform you're listening to us on, we want to say thank you for tuning in. As always, I've always said the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. But most importantly, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. I still stand and stick with that notion, that belief, that thought process is not changed. Considering the Liberian women have not stopped being beautiful. So I will credit them for being beautiful. I want to say thank you, guys. Please share the show. Help us share the show. Our friends are not your friends. We might not be in the same chat room, but let's share the show because, again, very educative, thought-provoking conversations we are going to be having here this afternoon. In other words, Enough for cheering. And that's more cheering conversation will come here. And that's more cheering talk will come in talk. We'll come in talk. We'll come in talk some BB and some deep thing. Like I said, we'll revisit the Gloria Musu Scott case, because there are some, we are getting some inside sources information about how the case is proceeding and what is expected. Very interesting, very intriguing, very, very much so. And these are things that the electorates must know as they prepare to go to the ballot box. As we prepare to go to the ballot box in 2023, we must be aware of some of these things so that we're not distracted. We're not carried away. But let's recognize one or two people really quick. We'll get to other news, get to the break, get to the musical break. Yes, Sekou will be joining us, like I said. Any point for now. I know it's getting ready here, but let's get to the musical break. Jackson never told us where he's watching us from. Last name is Patrick. He said plenty of things. Yes, Jackson, there are plenty of things going on. Ali, Aisha Donzo, welcome to SKTV. Thank you for following us. Nancy Ruth Anderson, welcome. Thank you for following us. Say Ali, thank you. Welcome for following us. Welcome to SKTV. Amen. Thank you for following us. Suleiman Fofana, thank you for following us. Welcome to SKTV. Says, please send me Sekou number, brother. Sekou will be on the show. Maybe he can address that. Or you can reach out to him via Sekou Kane on Facebook, and he would send you his number. Orito Sina, welcome to SKTV, and thank you for following us. You ain't telling where you're following us from. I know where you're scared for. Your thing, what? We Census collector, bill collectors there. We're not sending nobody to your hall. We're not sending nobody to your state. Just let us know where you're following us from. Tao. Mohamed Jack, Mohamed, what's up? Mohamed is a brother, a friend. We go way back, high school days, way back. An old Facebook connection here. Mohamed, a family, way back, high school. I'm talking about way back, way back. When certain people were not even thinking about politics. Way back in the days. We go way back. Eleanor Davis, thank you, Eleanor. You're watching us from Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, Mohamed, you're watching us from Nima County, Bay Complete. Okay. My man, the day I show film bad, I have small GB I won't swallow. I don't have it for you. What about Collie? Watching us from your Propo corner. I don't know where your Propo corner is. So if you let us know, that would be great. Yvonne Ayo or Yo, welcome to the show. Thank you for following us. Yes, I'm here. TT. Chukwena. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but welcome to the show. You haven't told us where you're watching us from, but you're following us. Thank you. Anita, welcome to the show. Thank you for following us. Loving the Shield, monitoring from Europe. Which part of Europe, Melvin? I heard it's pretty cold out there. You know, at this time of the year, it's very cold. I've spoken with a couple of friends from Europe. They've told me that it's very cold. Well, thank you for following us. You're watching us from Northern Virginia, Yvonne. Okay, that's good. Good place to be. But this time around, it's going to be Unity Party is coming to 4 days. Yes, Justin, we'll talk about Unity Party. Yeah, trust me, we'll talk about it. And that's small now small noise. Now small noise coming. That's small noise coming. We probably going to talk about everything. You know, we can talk about everything. Now, we stay older, so we're not afraid to talk about anything. Me, I stay older in Unity Party. I stay older in ANC. I stay older in CDC, in Liberty Party, in MRD. Any party you call I stay older in it. If you not stay older, like me, I stay older, so I can talk about any one of them. Yeah. Watching on DC. Jimmy Eastman. Jimmy, what's up, bro? It's been a while. Hope all is well. Thank you for following. Hope to connect soon, my man. It's been a minute. Zole, welcome. Following from Delaware County, PA. Okay, Delaware County, PA. Okay, all right. I see you. Yvonne Moore, welcome. Rebecca, you're watching us from Liberia, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Muna say hello. Muna, where you watching us from? You just say hello. What is going on? You know what tell you scared to tell you. Okay, Sam Kroma watching us from Belgium. Okay. Watching us from Belgium. Well, Mr. Kroma, welcome to the show. I hope you're doing very well in Belgium. Linda Maluba, watching from what? SK Avenue. I don't know what SK Avenue is. Okay, well. Alfred Kazan watching us from UAE, Dubai, capital city. Okay, Mona is watching us from Minnesota. Minnesota put in up plenty yo. Oh, TT, you watching us from Maryland. Oh, okay. Yeah, Maryland. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Vivian watching us from Michigan, from State, Michigan. Okay, you're watching from Michigan. Wolverine, Michigan. Michigan. Okay. Watching from John Bullfrog's Village. Okay. I don't know where John Bullfrog Village is, but oh, well, it is what it is. I've shared a show. Roslyn, you shared a show. Oh, Roslyn, sorry. I knew I had something to provide, to give you. Yes, you already know what's up. The person did agree. I will share the information with you. So I'm very sorry. You know, the whole Asia will get inside and we can forget about things. Watching from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Amos. Welcome to the show. Bill Cousin, my man, I read about you in the newspaper that you the Bill Cousin that they're talking about you threatening people. Don't bring threat on our show. We don't want to go on newspaper. But anyway, welcome, bro. Watching from Maryland. I'm not sure if that you, but if that you, then you I mean, you famous though. I didn't know you were famous like that. Wow. Space City, Houston. Sierra Townsend, welcome. Is that kind of what is going on?
I'm all right.
Yeah, I just greeted our people here really quick.
That's good.
Brian Brown, watching us from embassy from Ghana. What? Oh, wherever. One of the chasing ambassador from Ghana. My man, where you watching us from? Forget about that chasing ambassador business.
Which ambassador they want to chase?
The ECOWAS ambassador. Oh, your boy Bill Cousin famous, you know. The ECOWAS ambassador referencing that they threat on her life, and he the one initiating the threat through Costa and Koji. Then all kind of yo. Bill Cousin a B-boy, I know that boy, B-boy, B-male. So when you see the man, like put respect to the new Bill Cousin chief, sorry, I just get in the news here. Say checkups. Saying my data will say, no problem. The country umpire you're enjoying. Marilla, welcome. Rebecca, watching us from Australia. Okay, that's good. Let us know where you're watching us from. I got a few more. I think just a handful more people that will be.
Yeah, you're not going to get everybody anyway. Just do your best.
Yeah, Mustafa, welcome to the show. Oh yes, OP Mustafa, tell where you watching us from. Naomi, welcome. Naomi, long time. We see you on the show. I know what's going on. Chanel King, tuning in from Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know who Chanel King is, but hey.
How come we don't know that person?
Exactly, that's the problem. So that person that in situation to get him in now.
We don't know.
Yeah, but
hold on 1 second.
Yes, so we will be getting to the show. My man, whatever, man. My man, I can't tag up page 2. My man, just say you miss me. You miss me on the show. You miss me on Facebook. Just say you miss me. Because you are saying you can be missing me by way, brother. You want your brother to come to bring us in the time, but it's not lie. I on a sabbatical. I'm coming right now. We'll be back next year if God willing. Next year we'll be back. God willing. So poor is not reaching out to me. But I can't go that long. We're looking at it. We'll revisit the date and the time. But we'll be back. That's for sure. Being back on it's not an option. We must be back. We have to be. It's imperative. We have a lot of work to do. Yes, Bob. Thank you. Let's hopefully Sekou is back.
So Steve, what happened is that the internet wanted to trip, and right now it's not time for tripping. So what happened? Instead of using the wireless, I used the wire. I connected the wire to the computer instead of using the wireless. I don't want any kind of phone right now. I'm not even using a laptop. I'm using a desktop today.
Oh, using the desktop today.
Yeah.
But then before that is out.
So we're not playing around here. But
We're
yes,
not,
it will be
we're
here.
not making it listen. So
No.
enjoy, man. Yeah, but Mr. Kind of really quick. Just before we get to the musical break to share the show for a few minutes, the musical break will be short. Uh,
They my boy here, Wambodiki 2.0. He's not Wambodiki, but I call him Wambodiki 2.0 because he's the he's the Nigerian Liberian. So I like him. He's very, very involved. And he has his side and he made it very clear. So he is a Costatician who follows Costa everywhere he goes, who pay respect to Costa, and I like him. But yesterday he follow other follows other platforms, so it's good. Yeah, my boy, how you doing? Everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's good to be here. I know Steve has done everything he's supposed to, but the conversation is about to start.
we go
And,
for the musical break here.
and I know, and when we start the conversation, we don't want somebody asking us, what did I miss? That's why we urge all of you to go ahead and share the show right away. Go ahead and share the show right away. Yeah, so, for me, criticism is not my problem. Even my post today, when I posted that we're going to be digesting and analyzing that conversation between Costa and his political leader, somebody came and said, "Why don't you leave Costa alone?" I'm not even saying anything. I did not say anything bad about Costa. I only said we are going to analyze their conversation, which is obvious. You know very well that conversation was but a conversation from this platform. Whatever we said on this platform gave rise to what happened to that platform. So we do not have problem with Costa. As you all know, Costa is a friend and brother. We have some disagreement. We have some disagreement, which is obvious politically. There's nothing wrong with that. Even DeLong, Steve, I didn't even tell you. Right after the president's nation address, I contacted DeLong. I wanted to know whether he was even be available to have to join the conversation with us with the president's nation address. I did not even finish. The man just told me, no, we're going to be on the class reloaded. I said, oh, but man, the class reloaded just started, man. The time you were candidate DeLong, it was SKTV. When you were Senator DeLong the first time, it was still SKTV. Some point you went to spoon with other people, but it was still SKTV. But now I can't even finish my words. The man just said, no, we're going to be on, how do you call it, say, class reloaded. I said, no problem, boss man. So I don't have a problem with that. He's still a friend, a brother. The day we need him, he will call him. So we take criticism. We also expect people to accept criticism. That's the difference. So Steve, go ahead with a musical break. We will take that time to share the show. But I can assure you that we're going to dig deeper. We're going to give you detailed analysis of what we hear. At some point, we might even play some of the clips so you can hear for yourself, so that you can think that we are making up stories. So, Steve, back to you. We are ready, and the conversation will start in a split second.
Yes. Just before we get to the conversation, like Sekou said, guys, let's share the show. A lot of things to talk about. But before we get to the musical break, I always would like to take the next 2-3 minutes to briefly brief you on other news, because most of the conversation will be centered around the podcast that was held, or the show that was held with Costa I think on Friday morning. And every time I want to say for the record, Benena Ure appears on Costa show, that means there is about to be some kind of drama, some kind of noise. The last time he appeared on Costa show, as you will remember or recalled, it was the plot and the plan to take Mr. Alexander Cummings to court. It was that, if you would remember. But we'll not get to that. Here is other news. We're getting developing stories behind closed doors about a case, the Gloria Musso Scott case, the death case. We're getting developing stories. We're informed that the autopsy has been taken from Liberia to Ghana. We're also informed that, more likely so, Gloria Musso Scott could be charged. You're listening, no? You're listening, no? You're who running around rushing that the CDC-led government is serious about this case for the fact that they even took the case, they took the autopsy. Normally they would do it in Liberia. They took it now, they want a neutral ground. They took it all the way to Ghana. It's getting serious. It's getting interesting. And all fingers are pointing to Gloria Musso Scott per the information we are getting. This is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting and very important. That's why we're going to also dive into the conversation that we're going to get into today, because these things tie in together when people who are in opposition even decide to start playing games as opposed to being serious. Because at some point, the people you are playing games with, they got interests that they have to protect. And if you think that they will allow their interests, their sympathy to exceed their interests, you're wasting your time. So this is going to be very interesting. In other news also, Joy Howard Taylor is seen moving around to seek opportunity. She was in Dubai most recently with seeking opportunity of investment in the last minute. It's all politics.
Anyway, I don't want you to let's see what I'm about to say. We are trying to get the vice president on here when she comes back.
Yes.
So to get detail of her trip and everything else surrounding politics.
Right.
So we run ahead of ourselves. Let's give her a minute. When she comes back, we will ask her the necessary question when she got here.
So the reason this is brought up is because she fell in the international news. She's in Dubai. She was in Dubai, or she is in Dubai. At least she's there till the 9th. I'm not sure she already left. But she was there till the 9th, seeking investment opportunities. Let's move fast forward to other news as well. China is seeking to make some investments in Liberia as well. Very important. Very important. Not only that, but the timing also is very important. As you are aware, the U.S. is also, let me say the U.S. There has been the World Bank is also coming to invest in Liberia. So again, these are all other news. Let's get to the musical break for 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, to give you the opportunity to share the show. We'll be back. We will analyze that.
And by the way, if you don't share the show, we know you're not sharing the show.
No, if they're not sharing the show, Mr. Kano will come out.
We know they can share the show. But if you don't share the show, we will just sit down here and look at each other, like my friend.
Exactly.
You see, we look at me, I look at you, we look at each other, you can't do nothing to me. That's how one of my friends used to talk. He said, but when the guy told some stuff today, when you look at him, he said, what are you looking at me for? You just look at me and look at you. We look at each other and you can't do shit to me. So, one of my friends in Minnesota. So one of my friends in Minnesota, he's very funny. So that's what we do to you. You feel the share the show. Oh, look at each other.
Yeah, and we just open the phone line.
Anyway, we are here.
Let's get to the musical break quick. Share the show.
And don't forget about the Cash App and I think it's already there.
Yes, I'll pin it right here when we get back.
Yeah, so let the people contribute, because with that we have free ride.
Yes, and when we get back,
there's some good people though, whether we say or not, like your boy, what's his name? Joseph Conto, and the other guy who you just mentioned.
Carson.
Bill Carson always send $5. Whether we stay here, we didn't stay here, you always send $5.
No.
So at least you know.
When Bill Carson sent $5 this time around, what we'll do, we'll give $5 back because maybe he need to save money for the lawsuit that coming against him.
Well, some say things that we're not looking at their faces. With me, I'm seeing their faces. Oh, the other guys are looking at you. I'm looking at your face right now. When you smile, I can know. When you're angry, I can tell. So you just be on there. Things that we're not seeing your face. Even from today, when you writing that Jeremiah, what did he say? Jeremiah who will be the next president. The way you can be smile, I can see a face. So we're looking at you people. You like my man would say, you look at me, I look at you, we look at each other. We look at each other, and then I say, you better do what I need to do before we start the show.
Okay, well let's get to the musical break real quick.
It's important.
You don't even know my story. You don't even know your story, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know on the Pavia Loca. So moral. You post your new car on Facebook. But that's so la la. You working better. Loving and acting jealous, say you photo. My advice for you in my way I got to confess. Confession. You gotta confess. You must have the impression. Enjoyment. God your blessing. Enjoyment. No more stressing. Enjoyment. God your blessing. Enjoyment. No more stressing.
It's a beat. Another man trash is another man treasure.
All right. Well, quick announcement. Speaking of D12 and enjoyment, D12 will be on SKTV on Monday. Yes, as he plans on launching his new album or song. He will be here on Monday.
And you're going to be here with your crew, not just him though.
Yeah, he will be here with the entire crew on Monday. Yes, so the entire crew will be here on Monday as part of the promotional tour to talk about his new song, his new album. So we want to say congratulations to him and his team as we await to host him on Monday for the show. So that means please, inform other people. But as always, like we said, starting from the month of April, there will be no free show. So all the free thing they want, do not do it now. There will be no free show. Just so you know, whether you're political leader, you community organizer, you stay hold on the master, you will pay before we interview you or on your appearance. If that father out, we say that father, we're not negotiating, please. There is no discount. Just so you know. But anyways, I was just kidding. When you come, we'll negotiate and we'll get to the point. Just to remind you also, before we get into the conversation, we are in conversation with the ANC/the CPP for their convention that should be hosted in Philadelphia on the 22nd of July. We have now reached full agreements. The conversation has started. When we get to the full conclusion, we'll let you know as we've always done. But we want to let you know in the meantime that we're in conversation with them. The conversation could break down or it will continue. If the middle of the part of the deal, we show y'all know, or we will not get time for that thing. You're not middle of your part of the deal, we're not worry about you. Let's say we say we'll be looking at you, you'll be looking at we get there.
We just look at each other.
Yeah. Yeah, we just look. So starting from March 31st, my sister they're going to say after 11:59 p.m. Please don't count girl, no drag door story. Oh, I won't count the show, We're not on sweet up, and you won't count. We'll talk cash, we'll move. We don't want us. If you don't want count, we get different platforms and different options. Me and say, one can carry, two can talk, we'll go. But you want interview. You want interview a political party, like Fumba Toure, who they Jeremiah Wapo is the next president. When I get part of that one, to bring Jeremiah Wapo on the show after this month, you got to show small thing, Fumba. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Mr. Kane, interesting conversation on Thursday that we had, considering we did inform the Liberian people that we've received credible information that Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai would be coming to the U.S. As you would put it professionally, for medical reasons. We got a lot of hit on it, but we pushed further in the conversation as to one of the vice presidential candidates that's considered on the list of shortlisters for Joseph Yuma Boakai, which the conversation went in the United States. As far as when he came here, the conversation went there. And just to add on to that before we get into it, because these are the precipitating factor that brought about that show to get Benina Ure on to clear his name. That was part of the reason. But that's a side point. We talked about, we didn't add this piece there. Part of the reasons Costa was considered is because there is someone who wants to support the Joseph Yuma Boakai's vice presidency in Europe. Remember this place, in Europe. But part of the demands is because they are a strong supporter of Costa, is to ensure that Costa goes as vice president. The person wants to invest some money into the JMB campaign. Mind you, the JMB campaign is looking for money. The JMB's camp is looking for money. But let's get to this issue here, Mr. Kane. What do you make, first of all, of the interview? Because we'll go by segment, and if you have it loaded, because I don't have the video, I did see it. I saw it through security lenses. I don't have it. So if you have the video, maybe you can play, snippets of it here and there.
So what I'm trying to do right now, I want to play a portion of the video so you can listen to Benina Ure himself, and then we will take it from there.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do, and that's very important, so that people can think that we are just, making up stories.
Yeah.
But no, it's not about that. This is something that we want to, let's see here.
Oh, I see my boy begging.
Yeah. Hold on, I kind of like muted the video.
The ALP was if not the first opposition party to speak out on what we believe to be a fraudulent national census. Let's talk about that, sir. The position of the ALP on the census. What really informed that position?
First of all, before we let me say this. We're gonna play this part because this part is very important. In this video, in this interview, Benina Ure made it very clear. In fact, that document, Steve, I want to know the originators of that document, people who originally wrote that document, because it seems like they just went ahead and wrote the document.
Yes.
And listed the name of political parties and willfully, intentionally leave out certain political parties, then political party that they feel that they could be in their interest, or they could be aligned with them. They listed those political parties without the acquiescence, without the knowledge of those people. So Benina Ure made it very clear in this interview, because Costa tried to massage it, tried to make it look good as the reason why he did not affix his signature to it. So I want you to listen to that portion of the video so you can hear from Benina Ure himself as to what he's saying here. So listen to it again. Let's go to the video and listen to Benina Ure again.
Well, Henry, first of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to appear on your show this morning. And I would like to say good morning to all the listeners. It's been long since you heard from me, but I'm not a politician who goes from radio station to radio station, talk show to talk show, and trying to make my case. I've made my case over the years, so I don't think that's a need. In regards to the census, it's relatively very clear as this is a bogus piece of material that was created. And this caught our attention because we know we've read many censuses that have been done all around the world, and it's relatively impossible for one geographic area to increase by over 100%. I mean, it's unbelievable that people who should be educated will misinform the Liberian population the way it has been done. Most importantly, I mean, even if you wanted to inflate the figures, you know, why would you do it so disgracefully? You know, it's a joke.
Very alarming.
It's a joke. You know, and we at the All Liberian Party, we believe that making political decisions, one has to do it at the proper time. You know, all the significance of doing it will be lost. And this is exactly what has happened. Right after we read this preliminary report or heard of it, our party immediately went into gear and we put up a statement against it. We had called other political parties whose name I don't want to mention, but as usual, they appeared very slow and nonchalant, you know, on this issue. So look, we made a decision to just go ahead and do what we had to do. And we did it. We issued our press release. We had our media people go on radio stations and they presented, you know, our side of the story. Henry, if you do not make decision at the right time, it will lose its effect. And this is exactly what has happened.
Speaking of that, sir, the resolution, the joint resolution by a number of political parties that was issued yesterday and subsequently presented to the Liberian Senate, your name as political leader of the ALP was listed on the signature on the signature page, but you did not sign on behalf of our party. You know, people are wondering why. Why didn't you sign? Is it because the ALP had already previously, almost immediately upon the release of those provisional results, taken a position, so there was no basis to do that, or you just didn't want to do it with them? What is the issue? Why didn't the ALP sign?
Well, we considered both of what you have said and even more. The first thing is, we did approach them to let's horribly come and do this resolution or do this press release and let's move ahead. And look, as usual, they didn't take it serious. And then after 3 or 4 weeks, you know, you call us to sign a press release. That's not how it works. You know, we are a responsible party and we must be treated that way. You can't call us a few hours before and ask us to attest our signature to a document. No, we have to be a part of the writing of that document. We have to be in concurrence with all the other political parties that have signed the document. And look, we have a responsibility to the Liberian people. We can't arbitrarily go, especially to our party members, and just affix our signature to a document, especially when we had already made our position clear. And the whole world saw the press.
So, Steve, I want us to pause here first and discuss that portion before the people forget. You listen to the question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you have previously made your position clear as a party? Or is it because you just didn't want to do it with them? Benina Yure is saying, whoever is the writer of that document, that they waited 4 weeks and they went ahead and wrote whatever they wanted to write. Wanted to inform them in the last minute without any knowledge of what they are writing or who are all in concurrence of the document, but wanted to call them to affix their signature to it. What does that say about the document itself and people who wrote the document? And beyond that question, Steve, if we can take Benina Yure's statement at face value, it means that those guys who wrote the paper, which it seems to be from the Unity Party, I'm not sure 100%, but if they are the originator, that means they just went ahead and make that press release and list the names of political parties without their consent, without their approval, without their consent.
Well, first of all, that's a good question, Mr. Conning. Looking at the entire thing, knowing that Benina Yure, he did state at some point in it, they showed that, they were the very first people who supported or who came out to support Joseph Yuma Braga's ambition to be president or his political limelight or the Unity Party by extension. But they had all this cordial, lovely relationship going. The fact that he has an issue now with a document that the public did not know that was carved behind a closed door by other people, yet they just call him to sign. The question becomes now, is he parting ways or is he sounding some alarms of, I don't trust some things going on there? Because it's one thing for you to complain to them and say, I don't know why you did behind closed door. Let me review it, then I will sign it. But it's another thing for you to totally refuse to sign it and come in public and talk about it the way in which it was talked about. So that means, in my view, what is signaling that there are bigger problems than we think about this whole relationship. Mind you, lately, we have not really seen Benina Yure around in public with Joseph Yuma Braga on most of his moves. Recently, we're paying attention. On the other hand, also, it shows that, yes, it is confirmed by many different sources that it was a Unity Party who carved this particular memo and carry it out the way they want to carry it out, reach out to other parties. However, we are also told that they reach out to the ANC or the CPP. This is unconfirmed information, but it was one source confirming to us that they reach out to them. They have similar concern. But on the contrary of that as well, they felt as though that if they had gone into that to sign it, let's forget about them reaching out to them early for them to put it together, the document. That was one of their concerns. But the fact that they overlooked the recognized by NEC chairman Musa Bility and sent the invite to Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence for them.
That was going to be my other question, because I saw Liberty Party.
Right.
But I did not see ANC or I did not see CPP.
Right.
So I wanted to know who was the representative of the Liberty Party at that meeting, because Tiola Gibson, who happened to be one of the officials of the ANC, she's saying that there was several meetings here with various political parties before the statement was written. So was ANC a part of that document written?
No.
Why is it the ANC name was not mentioned, was not listed as part of the parties that were involved with it?
And that's based on the information I've gathered. That's why I'm trying to provide this to the public. And ANC people can come and speak to it, either disagree with this information or clarify it even more better. But from the preliminary information we've gotten, like I said earlier, let's be clear. This particular information, we are not 100% certain of it, but we got it from a confirmed leader within the ANC. Tells me that, hey, They invited us. And when we saw that this was all a trap and a trick, because Musa Belede is an ally to the CPP. You can't go be sending that kind of communication and not go through Musa Belede.
Came over the CPP.
Exactly. Not only that, but he's also in charge of the Liberty Party as we speak currently. Legally recognized, whether you like it or not. These are the facts. You can't go, not send letter to him, dishonor him, go behind his back. Then you say, we might come there. If we go there and sign our paper, we've undermined our relationship with him. And that would be wrong. And the Liberty Party, that would be wrong. So they saw it not prudent. But overall, the goal of this particular move from the Unity Party was to show that they are the leading political party.
Yeah.
Whether the people that they brought around to sign up people have no political relevance, can't even get 1% or 2% to beat that threshold. That is their business. But they're bringing these people around to show that they are the leading voices and everybody else should fall in line with them. You must fall in line. When you're not fall in line with them, then you have a problem. So now, I think they wanted to test this. This was a political move. Let me put it that way. This was a political move. It was not about the census. It was a political move. Because even if you look at it, when they presented it, I watched the video. Somebody sent it to me and I watched it through intelligent lenses. Guess what, Mr. Kane?
Yeah, what?
When they presented it to what is Senator name, I just forgot his name.
From where?
He one of the crooks there too. I just forgetting his name. Oh, why am I forgetting it? Nana Setuma. I don't think that's Senator Setuma, but his name will come up in a little bit here. But when they presented it to him, he had to remind them. So this looks like we're all playing or whatever it is. That they should read what's in the document and the way in which they presented it. Look, it just seemed on stage, playing, and so forth, because the Unity Party want to flex muscle and present themselves as though they are the one in charge of the opposition or they are leading. Milton TJ. Yes.
The former information minister.
Yes, Milton TJ was the one that received it. And Milton TJ went ahead and said, oh, then y'all got to read it to the public. Y'all got to read it to the public. What the people who brought that information, they decided to not read it, they give it to you. And your duty is to take it to the Senate and read it. But he went ahead and kind of coerced them, pushed them into what they were doing. And as I watched it, I just looked at him for long. I said, these people think everybody's stupid. This thing is all staged and all planned and so forth. So, Mr. Cannon, that's where we are.
Okay.
This signals a bigger divide within this so-called bigger coalition that they were going to form. Better that you mentioned at some point and we'll listen to him.
And that's there where we're going to right now. So, folks, the reason why we like to play some of these videos is to make sure that you don't think, or so you can just imagine that maybe these guys are making up their own story. When we speak to facts available to us. In the video that we're going to play right now, and this is very important, I want you to pay attention. The insinuation, because the reason why Benina Yuri was invited, we had a show here on SKTV. We enumerated several names that were on the possible short list of Boakai's VP's picks. We named top of the list Jeremiah Kuhn, Henry Pedro Costa, Yomli Kanga Lawrence, and we said a distant four was Benina Yuri. And this got to them. As a matter of fact, we were informed while we were having the conversation, they were all invited to come and watch and listen to Sekou was saying something. So right after the show, Costa had a conversation with Benina Yuri. They decided for him to go public and made it clear that he is not running for vice president, that he's not ready, prepared to be vice president. In fact, in this video that we're going to play, Benina Yuri is saying that they have indicated to Boakai and to everybody that are associated with them politically that they want to see young people, a younger person being Boakai's vice president. And look at among the four people that we mentioned. Now that he has taken his stuff out, we have 3 left. Who is the youngest among the 3? Costa, Costa, Kun, and Yombly. You be the judge. We're going to play it. You listen. And then throughout the conversation, Bernard Wheeler was left out, but there was a lot of attack on Yombly, directly and indirectly. So we're going to play the video. Then we will talk about it later on, after you listen to the statement from Bernard Wheeler himself. So listen to the video again. We are
released from the All Liberian Party. It will be repetitive to go and sign another document with another group of people. The document is good. We support it in the interest of Liberia. And we have always said it's important for all political parties to come together. In fact, quite recently, we went to a meeting with a political party and they clearly stated that they don't want to collaborate. They don't want to collaborate. Well, we believe that to win this election, the Liberian people mandated us to come together, okay? Form a coalition to ensure that we defeat the ruling party come October of this year. We tried the first instance. It didn't work. It didn't work because we didn't want it to work. It didn't work because people took the opportunity to try to manipulate the whole process to ensure that it go their way. Look, we came out clearly and we told the Liberian people that this was not acceptable to us. And we, as a people who are not afraid of anything or anybody, we stood up for the Liberian people. And we're going to continue to do that, Henry. Nobody will take the place of Liberia to our political party. Liberia comes first.
Sorry, folks. We're having some connection issues with Honorable Yuri. He's going to...
You're muted, Mr. Connor. You're muted.
To do that. So, so what's happening here is that we will come back to Bernard Yuri, because Bernard Yuri made it very clear, especially for his last statement, when he said they have done everything, they have done S, Y, and Z, but nobody will take the place of Liberia when it comes to their party. He's telling you. And he said it very clear, in as much as I still support Joseph Nima Boakai, but Liberia come first. I don't know whether you listen to that part, Steve. There is there's a direct departure or a signal of a departure.
Yes.
From Costa and his. Or this could be a threat, or trying to somehow bully Boakai. You either take the person we want, or we will leave you alone and you have nobody. In the conversation, Bernard Yuri said, I do not want to be vice president, but based on what we have done, he's talking about what he has done for Boakai. Based on what we have done, we must be on the table in making decisions as to who to be the vice president for Joseph Nima Boakai. Can you imagine? He's telling you he was a younger person, And among the three people, the younger person there, that's his son Costa. Okay, but he's also telling you, Baka is the one that should make the decision. However, based on what they have done, they must have a say. They must have a seat on the table to decide who to be the VP for Baka. And in the same video, Steve, he said people were campaigning to be VP. Baka, Bureau said it over and over, and Costa came. Costa were even more direct. They did not call Nyomble name, but everybody know they were talking about Nyomble. And when people call, people that were rating, people say, stop, the woman not campaigning, leave the woman alone. And Baka, the co-host for Costa, said that he supports people campaigning to be VP. People got to make the case for themselves. So in short, the fact that Ure and Costa are threatening Baka. In fact, Costa said nobody should campaign or to coerce. He used that word, coerced. So Baka is that soft, can be coerced, can be manipulated, or can be somehow controlled by somebody to choose who to be vice president. But they are saying they will support anybody Baka chooses. However, if it's not them, if it's not Costa, then it will be a problem. If you still want us to continue with the video, we can.
Mr. Kane, I beg you.
Continue with the video.
Mr. Kane.
Yeah.
I beg you.
Okay.
I think we should continue the video for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Let me tell you why. And then we can lay these premises. Let me say this to the Labrador people.
Okay.
There's a parable in Labrador that says the same rope that can hit monkey, it can hit baboon. We warn you about these days. But let's listen. Because the premise is being laid here for the noise.
Yep. All right.
It's muted.
Then
Hold on.
also acting at that convention
Papa was muted. Let me
to
all right, let's see here. I want to make sure.
in this country. Henry, you are aware, because we've had the discussion before, and my entire political party knows where I stand.
Mhm.
As a politician, one should never say they only want one position or they will not hold a position. That is why we have remained mute. But you can attest to it, and other members of my political party. And in fact, at the convention, at our national convention in Bangan, we made it clear that it was time for young people to take on the mantle of authority in our political spheres in Liberia. We encourage the political leader of the Unity Party, Ambassador Boyka, to ensure that his choice for the vice president be a young person who can join him in moving the country forward. We
Now,
also acting at that convention.
I'm
We
sorry,
also
I have to
acting at that
interrupt.
convention
Mhm.
to decrease the tenure of the presidency to 4 years. And if he's interested in Liberia, it must start from him to ensure that we don't continue what was started. But we also made it clear that we are not interested in any vice presidency of Liberia. We made it clear, and we want to use this opportunity to say it to all the Liberians that we are not interested. But considering what we have done, in the political affairs in Liberia. Our party must have a leading role in that decision. No one party owns Liberia.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
But imagine you.
Not even taking a part, but take a leading role in choosing who to be VP Buckeyes.
But they may give you clear code. You're not checking what he's saying, Mr. Kane. What he said is emphatic, is clear. He's not going to be able to hold the talking. And let me tell you something. Like Benana Euro or not, Benana Euro will say it as it is. He's not somebody that can keep things in through. He will talk it. So guess what? He has said what it is. Not only that leading, that particular word leading.
Yeah, playing a leading role.
He said sit at the table. He said leading.
Yeah, he said a little on, but in this particular, I didn't pay attention when I listened to this part. Okay. He said their party should play a leading role.
And guess what, Mr. Cannon? Something interesting that he said about
VP.
Yes, but guess what? Something interesting that he said that was not thought about. The same phrase they use against Mr. Cummings. That you got to be this. You say you don't want to be this.
Yeah.
They started to use that same phrase.
And no one person.
Yeah.
Can make decisions.
But we here now.
Let's continue with the video. Let's continue.
Yes.
Wow.
No one party will ever be able to get everything in Liberia again. Gone are the days of the Druid party. We must realize that Liberia is owned by everybody, including every political party. So let me put to rest the fear of people that, Brendan Ayew want to be vice president. That's not it. That I do not care to be. What I want is for the former vice president to pick a competent person that can assist him. And in the instance where he's not around, take the leadership of this country and move our country forward. Liberia deserves much better than what she has. And we're committed to fighting for Liberia. You know, when people, never in my lifetime have I seen the position of vice president being campaigned for. You know? I've never seen that. Where in the world do you campaign to be somebody vice president?
Okay. Steve, listen to this though.
The minute taking swap about Omar Ilavi. Okay.
This is direct attack on Nyomli. They're talking to Nyomli.
Yes.
We're not going to play the entire video because the video is a little bit longer. But we will play so that you can think that we are making it up. Yeah, listen to what Ben Ayew is saying. He said you never seen anybody campaigning to be a vice president. Who is campaigning to be vice president? And in fact, in this video, Costa said the chat room that they were all on, that he left the chat room last week or probably a week ago or two.
Yep.
That everybody in that chat room wanted Nyomli. He didn't call Nyomli, but I know somebody from the chat room called me and confirmed to me that yes, indeed, Costa left the chat. And in fact, because the person did not even stop there. You know, when somebody leaves, the notification, this person left the group. The person screenshot that and sent it to me. So I know exactly the time and minute and the date Costa left that chat room. So, your man left the chat room. I said, what happened? He said, because most of the people here are saying they want Nyomli to be the VP for Buckeye. So if they force Costa to talk, they say who he's supporting. And Costa said he's not going to support Nyomli. So when they gather him, when they gang up on him, Costa got agitated. He left. So he did not call Nyomli in directly, but I know they were talking about Nyomli. And which is very wrong. It is wrong for Benina Yure and what's his name, Melina Yure and Costa to gang up on Nyombli, accusing her of campaigning to be vice president, at the same time threatening Joseph Nima Boakai that they must choose, they must decide. You know, Costa started this thing a long time ago when he said that Boakai should never negotiate with commies, have any conversation with commies. Other than that, him, Costa, who rejuvenated the political life of Boakai, he will take a decision, and that will not be favorable to Boakai. So now they are threatening him, they're trying to bully Boakai now to submission. Either bully him to submission, either choose his son, Costa, to be the VP, or choose who Melina Yure will choose or will decide to be the vice president, or else. Then it will be. I think we are heading to a big noise within the political space,
Mr. Kane,
especially within the opposition when it comes to the Unity Party. I want Melina Yure to end his comment.
Sure.
And then we'll start from there. Yeah.
Please, let's do that.
Don't. But what is annoying is that when people allow this to continue, they lower the bar for the vice presidency. It's been lowered to the point where no real meaningful Liberian will want it.
Oh.
You know, so, and you know, again, decisions have to be made, and they must, and all, you know, all the people involved has to be a part of the decision making, not one person or one group. Liberia is for everybody. No matter what tribe you come from, no matter what your social or economic status, you have a place in this process. But the process must be done, and we must ensure that the right person is selected to be the vice president of any group, whether it's Joseph Neiman Boyka, Alexander Cummings, T1 Gonglo, of any of those. They must tell the Liberian people now, who are they carrying as a vice president? We deserve it. We're 7 months from election, and we still have not heard that. This decision is too crucial to be delayed anymore. So we hope that not only Alex Cummings, T1 Gonglo, but also Joseph Neiman Boyka, he has to make the decision, and we have to move forward. But I want the Liberian people to know, approximately 5 years ago, I came up and announced that I didn't have any more. I was not going to attest the presidency again. And there was rumors all around, oh, he's going to be vice president for Joe Boyka. He wants to be vice president. I announced at that point in time that I supported Joe Boyka, and I still do support him today. But we must remember that Liberia can't fulfill any individual, and we must all be committed to Liberia first, and then our choice for the presidency and vice presidency. But let it be known that we have no desire to be vice president. But considering what we've done and where we stand in Liberia, you know, we must have a say in it. And Henry, you know, I want to say one thing before I leave. Oh, people talking, oh, we got the numbers, we got the numbers, we got the numbers. I want the world to know, and I challenge anybody to challenge me, that the results of the election 20...
Yeah, let's you. You're listening to this. You know what? Steve, I can even forget. You see the portion the man is talking about right now. Somebody just say, your analysis is now for coming. I mean, what putting words in Benin Nigeria more. Some of you really need to open your mind. Don't your mind should not be so close. Open your mind. Learn to have your critical analysis. At least be able to understand and think for yourself. Don't be carried away by this partisanship. The man said, the man is saying, the man even trying to now tell you what people have been saying all along. The Unity Party idea of having the number based on 2017 election that is he's saying that it's fictional, is nothing.
That's scam. What is it? In other words, that's no scam.
Me, I'm not saying scam. I say fictional.
That's no scam. Let me put it that way. That's scam.
That number that you're talking about, in fact, he said the whole number in that 2017 election was fake. He said that.
That vla.
So basically, is telling you now, if United Party think you have the number, you have nothing.
Exactly. That's the bottom line.
Then you need everybody in order to have the number. You need better than you. That's what he's saying. He's telling you directly. So if they decide to leave you alone, don't think say, okay, even if they leave, we have number. He's telling you that number in 2017 was nothing.
Yep.
So let's listen to that. It's getting very interesting, Steve.
The 17 were not the real results. Those numbers were dictated by people. They were manipulated. So nobody must feel in this country that the numbers they got were the actual numbers. These numbers were dictated. So nobody must feel it got so big of a saying in the political fears of this country because of the results in 2017. They were not the actual results. Those elections were rigged. Go ahead, Henry.
Honorary, thank you very, very much. Waka, you like to ask a question? I mean,
yeah, Mr. Uri, I want to
comment. So ask a question so he can answer.
Yeah, Mr. Uri, you keep saying that you don't have interest in becoming a vice president, but you want to be a voice maker. You want somebody, that you think you can put forth. Is there anybody in the ALP apart from you? Is there anybody wishing to be a vice president to Joseph Boakai that is in the ALP?
Boakai, again, they have politicized the vice presidency so much until our younger children, are beginning to not understand what is the vice president. Look, it's not whether I want somebody or not. The vice president position is something that is given constitutionally to the president to decide who he wants for his vice president. True. It's not something, it's not whether I want it or you, Boycott, want it or Henry and Costa want it. It's what the vice president wants. And we all must respect his choice. It's important that we all respect his choice. And people must realize that it's not something you can force him to do. It's not something you can campaign. If the whole Liberia said they want Boycott Kamara to be vice president to Joseph Boycott, and Joseph Boycott doesn't want him, it's insignificant. Joseph Boycott would choose who he wants. No amount of campaigning, no amount of talk show, no amount of rallies will help it. It's a decision by Joe Boycott. Exactly. And look, what I'm saying to you, Boycott, is that we've been in the waters. In fact, we've received more criticism than even Joe Boycott and his party because of our support to him. Okay, we fought this battle. Even among Unity Party, when they didn't see the vision that Joe Boycott could be president, we saw it. And all these people who are running now and claiming, but after the first round during the 2017 election, most of them went to
Steve, Steve, why Ben Nigeria is crying for? Because other people are running to be vice president?
Well,
I'm feeling for him, to be honest. I'm sorry. I'm feeling for him in the sense that he's telling you now everything that happened, all the attack, because we have been attacking personally. I personally been attacking Bernard Ure for not being a leader, not being a good leader, especially when he was leading the CPP as the funding chairman, and at the same time in the vanguard of every controversy in the CPP, leading to the destruction of the first arrangement of the CPP. He's saying now that all of that, and now the name now Jeremiah Cohn, Yombly Kanga Lawrence at the top of the list. But I want to point to a few contradictions. If Benina Yure believes that the decision is solely with Joseph Nima Boakai for his vice president, at the same time saying you must take a leading role in making that decision, is that a contradiction?
but that's how
He
they always.
said the whole world to say, let it be Peter or Paul, but it is Boakai decision to choose. Well, where in the world at the same time you saying Boakai decision to choose a vice president, you must play a leading role. Well, you still want him to conclude because he's about to finish now.
Let him conclude, please. Let him conclude.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
CDC. Then elected Joseph Boycott. We stood there with him. We started a coalition there to ensure that we win the second round. They went against us. They went against us. Most of them went to the CDC. Most of them fought for CDC, but we stood with Joseph Nima Boycott. We fought. When Unity Party partisans didn't see any future in Joe Boycott, we saw it, and we fought for him. We went on, we devoted all our efforts. Radio station, talk show, newspaper, in supporting Joseph Nima Boycott. So we're saying we must have a seat at the table.
Must.
I don't want to be vice president.
Okay. Honorable Ure, thank you very much. Baga, you got any last question before we let him leave?
Yeah, and you know what I keep stressing on this seat, he keeps saying sit at the table. My question is, should this seat come from the All Liberian Party?
That is not what he said. Okay, that is not what he said. What Honorable Ure said is that when you ask him, he just said that it is the constitutionally given right or prerogative of the candidate to choose his running mate. Nobody can dictate to him or her who to carry. However, the input of the ALP needs to be made because of our support for the former vice president across the years. That's what he said. That is what he said. So I don't think there's any point to ask that question again. But if you have another question, you may ask Honorable Ure before we take leave of him.
Yeah, Mr. Ure.
But Henry, if he doesn't, go ahead, Boycott.
Yeah, the document yesterday. I don't know if you are one of those that crafted that document. I was submitted to the national.
No, Boycott, he just said he did not.
But wait,
but he did not.
You know, so when I was watching the video earlier, some of the people that were watching, they said that, Costa, why you keep interrupting Boakai? Why don't you give Boakai a chance to ask his question? So listen to that part.
All right. Okay. So we can Costa, you can go ahead because.
Yeah. So, but let me just re-echo that, Boakai. He said the ALP was not a part of crafting it. We didn't see it. We were only called to go and sign it. That's what he said. However, he said it's a good document. The party supports it because that's something the party had already previously done. We had already put out a statement. So we cannot be against it, even though we were not part of crafting it, but it's a good document. And that is the position of our party. Honorable Euro, I want to thank you very much. And thank you for indulging the inconvenience to come on this morning and speak to us. We really appreciate it. Let's hear your parting comments, sir. Hello? On Ryu, can you hear us? We want to hear his parting comments before we go to the phone lines. Hold on there, folks. He's trying to he already addressed that one, guys. So it's a good document. Like I said earlier on when we came on, it's a good document, and we support it 100%. But we had already issued a position on that particular subject because the ALP was pushing our partners to issue that thing, but it took too long. So the ALP went out on its own and put out their own statement. Okay, we have him back here. Honorable Euro, thank you very much. So we want to thank you for coming on this morning and all the trouble we put you through. And we want to give you, please give us a parting comment.
True trouble.
Henry, look, I want to appeal to the Liberian people. This election is no joke, Henry. We have to get serious. We have a bogus census that was done. Henry, I don't see why by now there's not a campaign going on, maybe saying, I did not vote. And if we get 1 million plus person to come out and sign a document to say that they were not counted. I was not counted. If we can get 1 million persons to come out and prove to the world that they were not counted, obvious they have to throw this census out. We're not doing what we should do. We should now be organizing a campaign where people will sign up to say that they did not vote. I keep saying vote. Let me correct that. That they were not counted.
So sorry we lost Honorable Yuri there. We're very, very sorry we lost him again. Connection trouble. Estella, you're saying that I'm cutting Boakai off. The man already addressed the issue about the document. From the very beginning of the show.
Can I finish up, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, you may.
Henry?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. You can finish up.
If we get 1 million persons in Liberia to sign a petition that they were not counted, okay, definitely the whole census has to be thrown out. Look, we have to be more forceful. We have to be more aggressive. If we're not, we'll find ourselves in the same position we're in come 2024. We must organize ourselves. We must be strong and we must be proactive. If we fail to do that, we'll hold nobody but ourselves. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to the Liberian people. We must unite, we must be strong, and we must fight for our rights. And we're going to continue to pray for our country. And we ask everybody to join us in this struggle to liberate our country.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Honorable
So-
Benada Yuri there, the political leader of the...
So, Steve, the rest of it was Costa, attacking how people are campaigning to be vice president and stuff like that. I don't think that is important anymore, because whatever he's saying there, he's just re-echoing what we already heard from his political leader. So after listening to everything we just listened to, what say you?
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. We've talked about these things. We've talked about the playbook. This is even bigger than the Unity Party themselves.
Steve, I'm sorry. Before you continue, I'm sorry. While we were talking, 3 people donated to SKTV. One person donated $50, and then 2 people $10 each. And among the $10, the usual guy, Joseph Conto, gave $10. And some people don't want me to call their name, but let me see here. I will call the people name more. The last name is Hoff of the other person, and then the last name of this other person is not there, but the person name is Joko. We say thank you very much for your contribution. 3 people contributed, one $50 and 2 $10. That's $70. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We don't want to let that go unnoticed. We want to make sure we recognize our donors and contributors to SKTV. Like we said, this is not one-day issue. If you don't have money today to give us, fine. If you have it today, you have tomorrow, you have the next day, we will appreciate it. It doesn't matter when you donate to us. Anytime, we will take it, we appreciate it. And again, we've been doing this on our own since 2017 up to where we are today. So if people decided to really help us take care of some of the bills for SKTV, we don't mind. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we expect more. By the way, we're going to have Alexander Comis here tomorrow. Alexander Comis, the political leader for the ANC and the CPP, will be our guest tomorrow for the continuation of what we had the last time. And one of the reasons why he's coming, basically, to finish off what we started. And the last time, the audience, you people, never had enough time to ask your questions to him. So those who are concerned about Comis running May, Comis days, Comis that, any question for that matter, keep it for Comis. He will be here. Not only that we will ask our version of the questions, but you too will have the opportunity. So what we're going to do tomorrow when he comes on, we're going to have 2 segments. First 1 hour will be interview from us to Comis. And the other 1 hour, the last hour of the show, will be for you guys. We'll open the line here in America and the entire diaspora. We'll also open the line in Liberia. So all of you will have the opportunity to call and ask your questions to Mr. Comis. So we just want to make that announcement why a lot of people are still here. I believe most of you can't wait tomorrow to be here to ask your questions. We want to make sure whatever is happening right now is something that we have, is a movie that we have watched before, but just on different screen right now. Go ahead, Steve. So
Yes, Mr. Connor, as you've said,
somebody else just sent $15. The person name is Sapphire. Thank you so much, Sapphire, for sending $15 through Cash App to SKTV. We appreciate it. Go ahead, Steve.
So as you were saying earlier, we've seen this movie before. We've seen this particular tape played out with other people. And interestingly, they joined other people now who are on the reciprocal side of it, such as Senator Yomli Kang Alliance. join these guys when we openly said don't do that because these guys have not changed. What you see Costa and Benena Ure doing, it's nothing in the interest of the opposition. But Unity Party people, we've told you guys that normal thing is in your head. That's not true. Your man who revived your campaign told you today that Jesus you're waiting for the kind and tell you that thing in your head. It's in your head. Let me tell you. That thing that ain't true. You're not no biggest opposition political party. And this foolishness that the way to the presidency is through Joseph Yuma Bwaga, that's not true. You'll get to terms with reality. But reality will sink in. It ain't sink in yet. Mr. Kane, just before this noise, when I was active on Facebook, there was a noise between Costa and the Unity Party newest Secretary General JMB King to America.
Okay.
Serious misunderstanding between them and other members of the Unity Party. But the only thing that let me say in the labyrinth, they're not men enough to stand up. It's because they sold their birthright to Costa. So guess what? Costa and Benena Ure will call the shots and pull them around. And it's sweet for them. And I encourage Costa and Benena Ure. I've said it over and over, especially Benena Ure. Benena Ure lives matter. I stand with him in this thing that they must be on the table to make decisions. They must. They must not show any ingratitude to Benena Ure because it was Benena Ure who resuscitated the whole movement that they've been passing around lying with. When we told them before, you don't go on that road, they said they'll go there. Costa and the Secretary General had a misunderstanding, and a couple of the other leaders. When Mo Ali and Amin Moda were leading the Unity Party in collaboration with Joseph Yuma Bwaga, you know what happened? They had a way because Mo Ali sucks up to Costa by extension, and all of them are afraid of him. So guess what? Costa had a way that when Joe Bwaga came the first time, Costa led the entire trip. Remember we said here that it was looking funny that they will have Unity Party partisans in this country. They have an established branch here, the Unity Party USA and Canada. And then the political leader comes. Then you have somebody who's not from the party, who's just a supporter or sympathizer of Joseph Yuma Bwaga, lead the entire effort in campaign. Not only that, we said it was a slap in the face to other opposition members who Costa have insulted, lie on, and so forth. So they decided to change the tactics. Who tell you they can listen? They're watching. Those scared guys and women, they're watching. They can man up and say the truth. Mr. Kane, when they went to the meeting, guess what happened? I will give the credit to the Secretary General who man up and said, no, this time around, let the people who are in America lead, let it be the face there. When Joseph Bwaga came most recently, it brought a noise. Other United Party partisans who are cowards, who have sold their birthright to Costa, said no. It brought Sira Yo-Yo in the meeting. I challenged them to say that lie. It brought us in the meeting. So they started having rift. Costa wanted to prove to them that he's still in control and he will lead Joseph Bwaga, FOI Joseph Bwaga in America. As evidenced by that too, that's why they brought two other United Party people from Liberia, Charles Snyder and that other crook that behind there, what you name? What other crook near? I just forget his name. But Jacob Akoli. They brought two of them behind him. And Costa pulled the plug again. That why Joseph Bwaga was behind Costa in Waterside Market in Philadelphia with black plastic bear. And Costa made sure he took picture and put it on Facebook. When Costa
hold on one second. You said Joseph Bwaga was
the people
black plastic bear in
Waterside Market in Philadelphia. I've been to Waterside Market before.
I took picture.
The picture then there you can see Joe Bwaga behind. They said they went inspect right. Are you serious?
The plastic bear?
Yeah, bag of regular bear.
Only to be serious, man. You saw plastic bear.
As serious. They were moving around to Waterside Market. Wait, go on a page. You will see the picture in there. Let them publish a picture. Joe Bwaga was behind in black shirt. In black, where he had again. So at the end of the day, Mr. Kane, what I'm saying in essence, Mr. Kane, start laughing, man. Start laughing. This is serious. This is very, very serious. They made fun out of a political leader, and we said it here. They made fun out of a political president. And you know what? It's because they've sold their birthright. They've made this man to look so down that Benena Ure so can't be calling shots and be telling you're not in the poll party, you who to decide who the person become. But you know what? I stand with Benena Ure. If I bought ban, I will get your number. I will text you and tell you congratulations and thank you. You must lead the effort to liberate the country. Joseph Bwaga must not. And let me say something though, Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence. Let me say something, Senator Yomdi Kanga.
So I was going. I will give my perspective when you finish because that's my interest right now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. Let me say something, Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence. You know, me and somebody had an exchange, I think a night or two ago, via text message. Highly respected person. The person said, "What do you make of the whole Yomdi Kanga Lawrence situation and the VP? What do you think about potentially her coming back to secure her party, you know, and, you know, reorganize herself in her party?" I said, let me tell you something. I said to the person, I got it on writing here. I said to the person, I said, Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, as a human being, as a person, she's a good person. I've interacted with her. Everybody has different view of people. She's a good person. My respect for her as a person stands. But as a leader, a political leader, she made some serious miscalculations and dangerous steps that, I said it on here, that could potentially kick her out of the political arena of Liberia after 2029 for good, if she's not careful. I'm saying it. 2029 when the election comes, if Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence does not reorganize herself, she will not be senator. She will not get no more position again. She will just become former senator, former political leader, and that will be the title. The reason I'm saying this is this. These things are long shots that you take. When you want to say the truth because you will be remembered for that. When you want to lie, you will be remembered for the lies. We told Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, stay focused with your party. Make peace with your party. Then the person texts me back and said, oh, she followed Delon. I said, no. I said, she didn't follow Delon. Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence is a mature, grown woman who is a leader. Whether you like it or not, she's a leader. I'm not saying she might not have consulted with Delon and other people, but the final decision lies with her. And if she calls the shots and leave herself on record calling certain shots, she needs to be held accountable and responsible for it. I'm not going to say Senator Dallas Delon may ought to do the other person. No, that is not true. What she can do to rescue herself and put herself, she shouldn't have been all of this disgrace, all of this disrespect, and it will get worse. She seen nothing yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg, like you said, Mr. Kennedy. These guys had a conversation. They discussed, this was planned, this was calculated, and they will come after Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence. Watch and see. They will attack her. They will go after her openly. So, I mean, give your thought. And I told the president, no, I'm not going to say that they're on the cost. No. Senator Yomdi Kanga Lawrence did her own thing.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you on most of the things you said, especially that this is the beginning. If you listen to Benny Ayure carefully, when he mentioned no amount of campaigning or talk shows, that talk show thing he mentioned, that's directed at Delon.
Yep.
Can give them the vice presidency. And I foresee a serious problem for Benny Ayure and Costa to constantly refer to Yamli as campaigning for vice presidency. If you listen to Costa all the way to the end of that particular show, he was very dismissive, very disrespectful to Yamli. But you know, some of these things are self-inflicted. Yomli is not stranger to Costa's behavior. Yomli is not stranger to who Benny Ayure is. In the CPP, Yomli had a lot of disagreement as a political leader with Benny Ayure, but now they are taking it outside.
Yep.
They are taking it outside, unfortunately. But I can say this. No matter what Benny Ayure and Costa said they have done or they have sacrificed for Boakai, that is not also enough for the country to take the risk and make Benin Ayure to decide who to be the vice president of Liberia. If Benin Ayure is a pineapple or Costa is the pineapple, let them make their own juice. If you have the number, you have the popularity, you have everything that it takes to provide, to produce a president, let Benin Ayure go for president, Costa go for vice president. Let the ALP run for president. At least if they go for the second round, the other political party in the opposition can support them. That's how simple it is. But for them to, instead of them being there to campaign for themselves, to make their own case, for Boakai to consider them to decide who to be vice president, but they decided to go the other way, to attack Yombli for campaigning to be vice president. I think that is wrong. That is wrong. If they want to, they want to be vice president, but they want to campaign for it, so be it. Let the woman be. This is called in politics, called, in law enforcement, they call it double jeopardy. It's like punishing somebody twice. Yombli being reprimanded, Yombli being insulted, disrespected about a lot of people for the way they carry on their party, for the way they destroy their own party, simply for being vice president. When she could have been given the vice presidency in a silver platter. Yombli has sacrificed most or more than you Costa and Benin Ayure combined. Because why? Yombli let go an entire institution. An entire institution. Before the Liberty Party get to where they are right now, Liberty Party was considered as one of the best and reputable institutions in Liberia. And trustworthy. And dependable. People thought they were the most civilized and respected people. But because Musa Bilete decided to support communists, and DeLong said he was leaning towards Boakai, that's where the party broke apart. And the reason why DeLong said he was leaning towards Boakai, because they wanted the vice presidency for the Liberty Party through Boakai. So if you listen to Costa, Steve, towards the end of that show, he said the reason why everybody running behind Boakai to be vice president, because they know they will be a step closer to the presidency, like we've said here before. They know they are very close to the presidency because they know Boakai is not well. They know Boakai, if he wins, he might not even end his term. Or even if he does, being in the presidency, his vice president could be a potential president. So now, everybody now, they fight that they were fighting. A lot of people didn't know that the fight they were fighting, they thought Kumis was next to Boakai in their mind. If at all, Kumis had chosen to go with Boakai as vice president. So that's why they try to make sure they destroy the collaboration so that anything, let them be the one to make the decision. It shouldn't be the people. That's why the block voting, this voting, that voting, they came up everything, nothing, they saw that nothing seemed to work. They say, you know what? Let everybody go pathway. Let people go their way, let people go their way. Thinking that they will still have control of Joseph Nima Boakai. Now the ANC is out of it, Liberty Party is out of it, they will control Joseph Nima Boakai. But unfortunately, Yombli Kanga Lawrence being considered. Now, what's his name? Jeremiah Kun is being considered for vice president. In fact, when Jeremiah Kun was mentioned by one of the caller, Costa was upset. He said, when Jeremiah Kun came into the picture, when he started coming around, And also, Steve, I want to say something on this particular topic. Costa said in the video, because today we said we're going to analyze the discussion and everything that was said. Costa said, popularity is not enough to win the election. You will need money. Popularity is not enough for anybody to win election in Liberia, but money matter. Let the people come with money. He said all of them broke. He said, in fact, all the people that want to be vice president for Baka, they all broke. They all broke. So let the people prove that they can raise money. Like you said, Costa has hope that if at all he is choosing to be vice president, he have people that are ready to donate. He have people that are ready to pay money to Boakai for him to be vice president. So now he's saying Boakai has no money. He said it very clearly. He said Boakai is broke. Boakai has no money. And all the people that running want to be vice president, they don't have money. So because of that, he's telling the Liberian people now that the people who are running with Boakai, they don't have money, and Boakai don't have money, so that means they can win. The only way they can win, you need somebody with money. And now his father is telling you that the so-called number that people say they had, no party should think they have some level of superiority, that number does not exist, that number was fraudulent, that number was fake. So in short, they can fight Boakai if they want to fight. They can say or do whatever they want to do with Boakai. I think they should leave Yombli alone. Let Yombli do whatever she wants to do. If Boakai decides to choose Yombli as his running mate, that should be up to him. They can campaign against her that time. If they want to run, in different party. But as long as they say they're supporting Yombli, or Boakai, they didn't run their own campaign. For Boakai to give them the opportunity, but they shouldn't continue to attack Yombli. I think it's unfair. I think that doesn't go well. It does not represent any moral latitude as people, especially when you say you are in the same camp. I think that's unfair.
Mr. Kane.
You standing with Kuyuri, you can stand with Yuri, your one.
Mr. Kane.
Yombli, among all of them that wants to be vice president for Boakai, I think Yombli is the one that deserves it.
Mr. Kane.
Yeah, maybe after that you can open the line for a few.
Yeah, then after then on the contrary, I will say Penina Yue deserves it. If you look at the track records, Penina Yue deserves it. Penina Yue provided Costa to make noise for Boakai. Penina Yue was the one that was able to pull the plug to divide the CPP, and he got all of them to fall in line, including Yombli. Even though let me say this, Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence set herself up for this. And guess what? I am in no sympathy with her. No. She must get what she deserves. In life, when people who care about you talk to you and advise you, you need to listen. But they so feel that they know the politics have been too much that even when you're giving a hint, they will dismiss you. They will see you as enemy. They will see you as problem. They will see you as trouble people. When we started to have a conversation from the beginning, even some people who are connected to Senator Yombli who are respect, try to attack some of us. The thing I was saying, you think was stupid. We saw that thing in front there. The problem. We saw it in front there. These people cannot be trusted. Senator Yombli, position yourself. You are somebody who, when people see you, they will tell you why you must give us a hard time with these people. Just play a neutral role, play a moderate role. because you are the only female in our CPP thing. There was no need to gang up with these guys, to join with these guys. So I'm saying that I'm not in sympathy with my own man saying that Yomi Kanga Lauren. She got what she wanted. She ripping what she sold. My only recommendation is not late for her to get her party back and position herself. That is the most important thing. That whole Joseph Boaga picking her as vice president, that will toss her, The way you say, Mr. Kane. You think with Joseph Boaga so even be thinking twice about Yomi Kanga Lauren to be vice president? If these guys were not orchestrating and trying to make sure that they disrespect and dishonor this woman, but right, he's supposed to take the woman. If Benin you were saying openly, let's be honest. If Benin you were saying openly like he doesn't want to be vice president, who should be next in line? Let's be honest. If you know, that would say the truth, they plot the truth line. And that's why I've always said either Benin Yure or Yomi Kanga should be the vice president for Joseph Yuma Boaga. But Joseph Yuma Boaga himself, he's a tricky old man who is not serious. He's not serious. He is not serious. He's a gaming old man. He's not serious. Who told you Joseph Yuma Boaga is serious? And Joseph Yuma Boaga not running. He making fool out of all of them too. They were saying, and we but I mean, I kind of like open the line. But my own man won't bat you fall inside. Yeah, they won't bat you fall inside bad way.
Yeah, but to be honest, me, I will not sit by and allow anybody to bully her.
No, but I want to bully her. Then we can have the conversation. It will not happen.
That's correct.
But they honor money and they plot against her to not make her VP. She set herself up for that one.
Yeah, but let her leave her alone. Let her decide whatever she wants to do, however she wants to do it. If they like to, let her go campaign.
But all right, she can do whatever she want to do. Exactly. And what she's doing is just mobilizing her bases for the party or whatever. So that's why I recommend that she gets back to her party.
I think they are nervous. They are seeing the strength that Nyomble is putting up there when it comes to JNB. But you can't show that kind of number. Costa can show that kind of number.
Where? So
that's what they're saying, that everybody got number. The Costa said everybody got number, everybody got support, everybody got base. So Boaga should not choose her because of that.
No, attacking Umpa want to attack Nyomble.
Why base Costa and Benin you have more than Nyomble?
Then I want Umpa, we have problem on our hand. If Costa and Google decide to disrespect her, then we get a problem on our hand. It's a problem. They will just say that way straight up. But the other political shenanigans that they eat, they on their own. I got a call here already.
Yeah, okay, you can take your calls. Hold on 1 second. Somebody say they want my number, Solomon Fofana. My number, the numbers are there. Just call any of this number, you will get me. Now I'm going to pin the two numbers there right now. I'm about to do it. Take your call while I pin the number.
Just before I bring you in. Hold on.
Like I'm saying,
I agree with Beatrice.
Yeah, Boaga is the one to choose, right? It's not Benin Yure and Costa.
Exactly.
And Benin Yure, they can't get it both ways. You can't say Benin Yure is the prerogative of Joseph Yuma Boaga to choose who should be running. At the same time, saying I want to take the leading role to detect the man who to
exactly. Be and that's the thing. And that's why I've always said, and I maintain my position, that Joseph Boaga himself is deceptive. He needs to make the decision if that's his choice. But anyway, let's get to the line here. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Nice.
Hello? Caller? Oh, the caller, hello? The caller been on hold for a while. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Let me get a caller. Hold on. Yeah, so I agree with it. I agree with the statement Beatrice made here. That it is up to the but I mean 7 months of elections? Come on. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Then this Lemon calling from Minneapolis as usual.
My man, what's going on? Where you take, my man?
This conversation is very interesting. You know, we have been sounding like a broken record on this show.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons I love calling this show. I love to call shows that are balanced, where people speak truth to power and just be fair and raw in it. You see, when people that are not so smart try to play smart, they always get caught. That's what's happening to Costa and Benin. We told people from day one, when you come to politics, have an open mind. That's why he kept interrupting Boaga. Benin Nigerian message is very simple. Benin Nigerian believe that Joseph Boaga is the strongest, and he one of the biggest contradictions I've ever seen. He believed that Joseph Boaga is the strongest, but then he said, at a certain point in time, every people from United Party never saw a feature in Joseph Boaga. So what he's trying to say, when things were going bad, I was the only one that stood with you when nobody saw a potential in you.
Right.
So Benin Nigeria understand that from an electoral standpoint, he's far-fetched from the vice presidency. He's not even an option. So in other words, if you cannot make me an option, then I should pick the next option.
Right.
That's what we're trying to say. And Bwaka understood that because it was so glaring for anybody to understand that. He's trying to say, if I cannot get it for the fact that I was with you in turbulence time, in the darkest of time, I should be the one to determine who will be your vice president. And when you come to what Bwaka asked, so are you saying who in the ALP should be? Now it's just common sense. Nobody has to tell you. If that is the case, who you think is the most prominent person in the ALP about Nigeria? It's Henry Costa. That what Costa didn't want it for that particular phrase to come up because
exactly.
You can't stop it from that. That's what you're trying to say.
Hold on.
Hold on, Sarah.
Yes.
Hold on, Sarah. Let me say this. Towards the end of the show, that came out. Sarah, Bwaka asked Costa, if you know, I know you're running for senator. If your name pop up, Bwaka chooses you as the running mate. Will you accept the idea? Costa was all smiling.
Oh yeah, I saw your reaction. Maybe it was just like
he doesn't want to hear it. He wants Bwaka to say it. That's what. He said, "Oh, that's what you want? Is that what you want?" So trying to make it look like is Bwaka should say it, but he doesn't want to hear it. No. I mean, I'm only running for senator. Just recently.
Well, he's not running for senator. That is a deception. He's not running for Frank. He's a deceptive man.
So that was just done to make it look like running for this, but that's not what he wants. What he actually wants is what
Benjamin just came to the realization that the 2017 numbers were cooked. We told people in election, that's why in this country people spend millions of dollars to do something they call an autopsy. It was the CPP that marks the vulnerability of the Unity Party. George Weah and crew knew that there is no way that Unity Party will have secured tier 10. But I told you guys from day one, if you look at the numbers in round number 2, they inflated Joseph Bwaka number to guarantee him in round number 2.
Right.
That's just why it worked. Because anybody that supports coming, anybody that supported Bronskin, they are most likely to support Joseph Bwaka. But when you look at Joseph Bwaka performances in round number 2, it just tells you that they flip those numbers to guarantee him round number 2. Because
it looks like Prince Johnson said it. Prince Johnson said the same thing though. Prince Johnson said it, and Ben you're saying the same thing today.
Yeah, Ben right now, because he's out of contention, he's telling you that Unity Party number was fake. And they are data to prove that they are factual. If anybody believes, I tell people, the true win party governed Liberia for 133 years. That is the only record that has been consistent for almost a century. The moment Samuel Doe took them off the stage, that was the end of them. The Liberian people are never in the business of repeating political party after they leave power. We saw it with even the NDP of Samuel Doe. Do you hear about them today? Charles Taylor was the most recent one that won with an overwhelming victory. If the NPP is a shadow of herself, you are telling me that Joseph Bwaka Unity Party will leave power for 6 years and then come back and win the presidency? You must be the most sophisticated idiot on the planet to believe that after Unity Party left power, George Weah got unlimited amount of resources. He controls every level of government. He got the Supreme Court, and you think Joseph Bwaka can come back and win. But being that you just woke up from the sleep, that's why I find interesting. But all in all, I mean, just to put the thing to conclude this thing, I think the biggest loser in this thing that we keep saying from day one is Alexander Cummings. That's why I keep saying, if the Liberian people really want change, they will only consider 2 candidates. And that will be either a Cummings or a Tewan Gongo, because all these guys, they are scammers. From the framework document, was just a political hit job to destroy Cummings. Because it's common sense. You are going into a collaboration of 4 individuals. If 2 of them are only auditioning for the vice presidency, then it means it was just a coronation from Joseph Bwaka. But they make it to seem like it was a competition, that anybody could come to the CPP and vie for the presidency. That was a lie. You went to the CPP with the intention that Joseph Bwaka is the default candidate and everybody there else is auditioning to be number 2. That's why Jumbly Kanga and Benina Yuri. So when you look at the Jumbly Kanga statement after that framework document, you're like, you know what? I have no sympathy for Jumbly. She is just as corrupt as the Costa and the Benina Yuri. So the whole document, they were just 16.
No. Why you say she's corrupt as the Benina Yuri and the Costa? How?
Because she knew that the press conference she had accusing Cummings of fingering a document was very malicious. She knew there was no fact to that. She was part of the conspiracy. Because all of them, for them, they see their will to power through Joseph Bwaka. And at a certain point in time, you will believe that I think they will kill Joseph Bwaka before he can die by himself. because the desperation is just beyond human recognition. That's just what it's all about. That everybody is doing almost everything possible. And I don't know who gave them this illusion that somehow Joseph Boga presidency is carving stone, that when you go as a running mate, then somehow you are closer to power. I just don't know. But that's why it seems to be. And unfortunately, after all these years, Nigeria has just come to the realization that everything you guys, including us, have been saying on this particular platform, it happens to be the truth. You see, simple. There's a difference between lies and the truth. When you speak the truth, you don't have to worry about what you say in the past. You don't have to manipulate. Yep. You don't have to convince people, because the truth always vindicates itself. When you are a liar and a thief and a criminal, you always got to watch your words. You always got to manipulate. You always got to pivot, because you know what you were saying from the beginning was never the truth. And that's why the CPP was horrible. Look, we got data. We got real facts. We all look at, we examine the whole CPP. When the CPP was on a common chairmanship, it was the more coherent. It was the more focused. We went to election and became victorious. The moment these guys saw that, because here's the thing, if you go into an election, the four political parties, the only party that was won was the ANC. Every party was literally fractured. Unity Party was split. Liberty Party was split. In Nigeria, most of his delegates had already left the party. So these guys figured out that if we go into a convention with a primary, there is a high probability that Alexander Cummings, being the only party that was together with resources, people have come out on top. That's how they had the whole idea of fingering the framework document. It was a political hit job just to push their own personal narrative. And now, at the end, with just 7 months to election, they are coming to the reality of something we have been saying for the past 4 or 3.5 years. That's why Georgia said, I will flog them. And Georgia's chances of getting re-elected is just getting higher and higher by the day. Because I just don't see how you can put this stuff together to make it work at this stage with just less than 8 months of election.
Yeah, but it's on a backdrop that I would disagree with you that Georgia will not win.
Thank you.
It's a kind of divert the call to you. I got another call here, please. Let me get.
Yeah, I will divert the call to me. But what happened? I have a caller here from Europe. Let me get that caller.
Okay, caller. Hold on 1 second. We got a caller from Europe. Hold on.
Yeah, I think this is Mr. Dashil from Belgium. Mr. Dashil, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hello, how are you? What is your take?
Well, the discussion is so sweet tonight that I think that the whole public should be able to hear your analysis that you made tonight. The analysis was so great that I know all of the viewers that are listening, they're into it, because USD came up with things that got all of our mind reflecting. But what I took out tonight was that we all have fallen out from the beginning of the CPP. It was all hidden agenda. People have primary objective in joining the collaborating parties. I believe they were all motive and greed, and they were expecting, the expectation had ring out through all the different allegations, plot against different people, all that failed, and we see the end results today. This thing that had damaged the CPP, it had damaged also the aspiration and hope of the Liberian people, hoping that the CPP were going to represent them. This is a serious command that had damaged all the other parties because of few individuals and the selfish aim towards having power. It's so sad, Sekou, that it had come up to a point now that if we don't see this unity, I think that the ruling party have a chance. We have to face the fact. We have a few more months to go, and there's nothing on the census that we have talked about. The voter registration has not been discussed. We don't know whether we're even going to go to election because we're talking about biometrics, and we don't know which one they're going to use. The public has not been informed. And if the public is not going to be informed, that gives chance to the ruling party because they're in the majority. When I say in the majority, I'm talking about the local ones that are going to vote now, the Moyan boys. They will have that power because those ones that we saying that we trying to seek and hope we're going to put into power, they have not gone out there to let the people know their position.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I thank you for the time, but it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much, my brother.
Yeah, let me get a caller quick, Mr. Cunningham. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
So,
from Costa City, Arizona.
Sekou Tukle from Costa City, Arizona. My man, you say you're from Arizona, but that thing here will hold you. Will hold you contempt.
No, not true. He's from here. I know him.
I come on in 19. I saw this meeting with both of you, but we'll talk that behind the scene. I come to meet you.
Okay, no problem. I'm waiting for you.
I come on my way to you guys down in 19.
Wonderful.
We'll see you.
All right. So, Mr. Connor, Brother Steve, thank you guys in the studio there. You guys, I noticed y'all making sense to me, and I said, let me make sure and I come share my view with you guys. Concerning Joseph Walker, whether or not you were young people that dialogue the law, they destroy the CPP, and I would just make recommendation to our brother Arizona comment. It could be very chances if you go second round with George Weir. Mr. Arizona comment can go record. And all the drama, the CPP and the Unity Party, I remember Unity Party for 12 years. I know how Unity Party don't have that number anymore. They don't have that number. When you had number before, even better you will make it clear in your video. They had a number before when Mr. Yuri was running in Montserrat County. Better you will be brother. One of your brother was running for senatorial position in Montserrat County. He did not get it. Doing CDC in one position or one seat, which are in those areas. So now, but we come now for right now, 2023, Mr. Kuma have a chance. But I will recommend it to him. A lot of political parties are watching the process with Joseph Walker and his crew with Costa there. Costa said, now in that position of about 5%, Costa might go around because he's not even qualified for it. Let him be represented first. So let me go to Joseph Walker. He just keep fooling our people, not coming out to tell and say, there's a need that we support Mr. Akumi. Because the people want to go and want to lie on Mr. Akumi, they want to court, he went and testify against the young man. That was not fair. That was the whole problem. They can't go back to Mr. Akumi and apologize and say, long work together. We lied on you before. But John Brenda, you were part of that whole scheme again. But he's just now looking at the whole thing now saying, they think one person can get it. We have to work together. One person can get 50 plus one vote. But why you can't join together now and go against the ruling party? Everybody wanted for themselves, or y'all wanted for Liberia. Right. Liberia is the one we should be looking at. But if you guys start looking at yourself, if really a politician that really wants for Liberia to change, they will be finding somebody right now to be the president against George Weah. But they're not ready.
Thank you.
We can't carry people name, and then our people need to qualify. We still have people like wherever you could. Arizona Kuma ANC, he has a good record. Why we cannot be looking for somebody now to stand for the opposition bloc to be the president against John Weah? Because if John Weah put that kind of together for now to the 6 months in July, June, forget it. They're not going to win nothing.
Thank you.
They're not going to win. The ruling party will take it.
Thank you,
they're not ready. If they can't put the house together, they're not going to win nothing. And maybe if somebody go second round with John Weah, like Kuma, that would be fine.
Thank
but
you.
as long as we go lobby with other political parties, we're not talking too much. Let you go back to them and meet and say, okay, the team looking like you're not hold together. So other people fighting. You'll come and work with me. If I get it, there will be a fight. Now maybe the next regime you can come to and I will support you. So now the same thing every day with John Weah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Sekou. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dukle. Yes, again. So Steve, I want to update on the people that we always have to
Yeah, but we're almost done now. We're almost done for today, right?
Yeah, but I have to update the people when people get their money. We got to recognize them. We got to call their name. We got to let people know that people they donated.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So since I last announced, we have 3 people donated. our friend and brother Gaia Reed donated $25, and the other person Habinka donated $50, and then one Davis donated $50. So I want to say thank you to all of those people. Gaia Reed, I think Gaia Reed is your man from here. So
yeah, oh yeah, Gaia Reed, that ANC man.
ANC man.
Yeah, that ANC chairman, chairman of ANC in Arizona.
Oh,
Gaia Reed.
$25 you making sent to us.
Yeah, but
they
only men
football, SKTV and all that. The $25 messaging to us.
The man trying.
I can't block the man. In fact.
No, don't block him, man. Not my boy. Don't block him. No, not my boy. Don't block my boy.
Okay, hold on. I have a caller here. Oh, I have two callers coming together. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yasini, hold the line 1 second.
Yeah, we'll take 2 or 3 more callers.
I have a caller here. I think this caller from Europe. Caller, let me take the Europe first. Yasini, please hold the line. Yes.
How are you guys?
I'm good. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is brother Johnny again, Abraham from Norway.
Johnny Abraham from Norway. Abraham, what's on your mind on this issue? What say you?
Well, I listened to. I'm very sorry that I was not able to listen to all the things that you said. I caught it in the center.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the little I heard, I was shocked when I heard him saying, and we need to hold together, we need to unite. I don't know who the we is. I wonder if he forgot about this day, that this day will come. So I'm still not convinced. My conscience is telling me Costa and his father Yuri, they are in this thing here to work for to work for the ruling party. They are just there to chocolate things. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And just a minute, Bro Siku.
Yeah.
I want to also add to what you said, the reason why Yombly and Dillon decided to go to Broadcast camp.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and finish.
Mr. Cummins was. Hello?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Cummins and especially Mr. Dillon, the two of them were moving. You can remember. I mean, on one of the occasions, Mr. Cummins and Dillon, Senator Dillon, they went to visit and Aji Pompom. There was cordial relationship between them, but when the 30,000 issue came about, and Mr. Cummins wrote them, the opposition bloc, that those of you, especially from the CDC, I mean CPP, you people need to carry that money back and give it back to the Liberian people, give it back to the government. This money here is I don't know how you call it. He said it was corruption. Yeah. And from that point, they decided, that it is from that point that they decided to go on broadcast camp. Imagine the time there was cordial relationship between Dillon and Mr. Cummins. I know you will recall that let's say Costa was not happy with the idea on Costa camp. This little girl who called herself Costa Queen Martina, they saying Dillon was on.
I want you to conclude if you can.
All those stuff there, yeah, if you can remember that. But by the time Dillon left Mr. Cummins and decided to go to Boakai, then they are comfortable. And also regarding the Boakai and Costa, one time I was just wondering, why are the children of VP Boakai that their father can be used like this? And those horrible pictures can be put on the Facebook by Costa. At one point, the old man could barely drink his tea. He and Costa sitting at the table, the old man is sleeping. The first time he went to America, and then.
All right, my brother. We gotta leave it. We gotta leave it there. Thank you so much. Yeah, because his line is breaking in and out. So let's take this caller. I think this is Yasini right here. Yasini, thank you for the wait. How are you doing? Are you there?
I'm doing fine. I am doing all right. Hopefully I'm clear.
Yeah. So while Yasini is saying that, while the other person were talking, one Dorothy sent $15 to the Zelle, Steve. So I want to say thank you to Dorothy for donating to SKTV. Me, anybody is on it, so you just say don't come on here, I'll call you and I'll tell you thank you. We appreciate it. So go ahead, Yasini.
Okay. What I like to say is it's really a thing for me. When I hear, I just heard a young man say, "Oh, Mr. Cummings is a good man. He does the job. He must go second to yeah, great."
Somebody said that.
How does that make up? But let me say this to all of us.
I don't know. For some reason, your voice is not too clear. I don't know what you're using. Is it Bluetooth or whatever? It's kind of.
Okay. A phone is something. Let me say this.
Okay.
I've been to Liberia many times, at least times in the last 6 7 weeks. And that's what is happening on the ground. If we were so secured away, you will not be trying to inflate the census with no fact. That's what I'm going to say to the Liberian people. This decision is about the Liberian people. Liberian people have voted more than 3 or 4 times. A by-election, national election, 3 times. Okay, this would be the 4th one. So if they know, even the black man boys, they're hungry. They know what is happening in the country. They know the living in. So the Liberian decide. So say the Liberian people, they didn't do that. There are people on, just like Bronsky was a ballot in 2017. Kawabasa people president. Okay, Jeremiah Wapo were on that ballot. Alexander Cummings were on that ballot. Waka, let's just say Waka was a position time. But for others, there were 22 other on that ballot. The people, Terra was on that ballot. The Liberian people will have to make a decision. We know if percent plus 1, we have never gotten 50%. They have ever gotten 50%. So it's not a simple majority. That is good. There will be second round. And that's what they always do. And we'll come together and we need to do. But let's go to the poll. What we need to do is fix what is lacking. The numbers does not add. That should be our focus at this point. There will be no biometrics. There's no time to do it. It's just logical that there will be no biometrics. Besides, there's no money to begin with for the election. So there are a lot of stuff going on. There are a lot of lobbying that's going on. The international community, the local community, but the Liberian people who are in the eyes of the storm, we have to stand up. Like when we saw Directory, what happened? Republicans, John, Democrats, but they leave their party, they voted for Biden. So that's what I'm going to say. Electoral Commission will do the work, ANC will do the work, and all Liberians who have world meaning, who want to change in the country, will do the work. We can't stand there and point and say, oh, on 4 men. None of the 4 men that will change the country, we will change the country as a nation. Thank you so much, Sekou. I will call it a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Great show. And about Nyongli, I can't say anything, but the last time I made an accuse of her, people lied on me and said I insulted her. Even Steve told me I had to send him the video. Okay? So, I mean, I can't say anything to that, but she should not have followed those men. Okay, it would have been an easy pick. All of us were supporting her. We supported her during the last election. We stood with her. Cummings was in Basel. Musa was in Basel. The lecturer was there putting on like talking to people all over the back, all over the place. She should not have. But you know why we live and learn? Hopefully she can walk back and go back home and fix the things that were lacking. That's what I think. If she can do that, you know, leaders are the ones who are able to change their mind and rectify their mistakes. You know, the greatness of America lies not in what you like in it, but the ability to repair what she can repair that. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. So I think this will be the last caller here, and then we'll call it a day. This is Prince right here. Prince, you're gonna get maybe 1 minute, my brother, because we are. We say it was the last caller. Let's say it's going to be the last caller.
You keep my laugh for 1 hour and then give me 1 minute.
All right. You get 2 minutes.
Democracy is too hard, man.
All right, you get 2 minutes, my brother. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Moses. Look, we all been looking for the move in the CPP and in the opposition on the opposition block.
if we listen to that interview, they overplay their hand and they expose themselves. Henry Costa and his daddy are both the mole in the opposition. John Weir is banking on the opposition being in chaos and confusion. That way, when he rigged the election, there will be difficulty in cohesive protestation against that. So that what John Weir is banking on, and he planted Yuri and Costa there to do the job. They are only carrying on the final tax now. After they met with the CPP now, they go into the deal, what I call a Democratic Alliance. They're going to mess with it too. That will be the end game, and we will end up rigging the election, and nobody will end up stand up against we are, because there will be no opposition unity when it comes to that. Having said that, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for pressing the issues, because if it wasn't for you guys coming and making the case, you were not coming to come out, and Henry Costa and you were not coming to come out and expose themselves and tell like people who they're really working for, which is your will. Then my next point is, I'm glad that General Cummings is coming out tomorrow, and I will hope that my call go through, and my voice don't be sanctioned and silence. I know you guys will not do that, but I just put in my caution there, because I got another tough question for the General Cummings. Because the General Cummings told us that we can't keep doing the same thing over and expecting different results. But on the other hand, some of the actions are contrary to that. For example, the selection of his vice presidential candidate. We, the people, should be part of that process. We're not going to want to be the one to decide the choice, but we should be part of that process.
I mean, don't be like Benina. Don't be like Benina. You want to be.
General Commission should have given all 5 names of people that he shortlisted, and he should have given this to us, so we can be able to look at these.
Who you? When you say us?
The Liberian people.
No, man. I don't know if that's how it works.
That's not how it works, man.
I'm not seeing that in America here. Maybe
I'm not seeing it anywhere either.
Listen, how does it work for Liberia? The one who's been working, have you been working with Liberia?
Okay, when Cummings came, I tell you that one. Yeah, when Cummings came, I tell you that one.
At a higher standard, then you say that's how it works.
My man, when Cummings came, I tell you that one.
He said, honestly, basically, doesn't care about how it works.
We can examine these people. We're not going to be the one to choose for him, but at least we can put it under the microscope. We examine them, we discuss them, and then he can choose. He can put Iseko Kone, he can put Mose, he can put Yaseni Manti, he can put anybody want to put there. But let people know these people and start discussing these people now. We've been sitting down for almost 6 years. I mean, not 6 years. Let me give it 3 years or 4 years.
My man, we got to go.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I mean, well, you know what? I'm coming again. I'll come on how to answer this one. So
the next time when Cummings come on, I want you to call earlier. Don't call the last minute. You always call the last minute when we're leaving, so that we can have enough time.
Listen, you can either my number, you can keep me on hold, you can put me in the background.
I will never do that to you. You my boy, my man. I got your number saved. I never censor your call.
You consider me as your problem child. You can put me way in the background.
All right, my man. Thank you. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to all of you. We really, really, really appreciate you all. Let me see, Steve, while we were talking. This person, John sent $25. I don't want to call his last name because some people don't like their name to be called, but the person's name is John. He sent $25 to Cash App. We really appreciate you, John. Thank you so much. So, Steve, we've been here now for 2 hours, 28 minutes. I think we always said for 2 hours, but we've been here for the longest. I think unless you have any announcement, but we can call it a day.
The only announcements would be Mr. Cummings will be here tomorrow as our guest. Same time, same place. On Monday, we have D12, who will be our guest, promoting his new album or his new song. And the last announcement is starting off April. We're in political seasons. You want your political party to come here. You want your political leader to come here. You want your political aspirant to come here. You want the person that you care about politically to come here. Whoever, your spokesman, your spokeswoman, whatever, they will pay. It will not be free. Just so you know, we're not saying now 2 more hours and plus again. to interview somebody on for the love of Labrador, so we can rescue Labrador. We're not going to do that again. It's not going to happen. Just so you know. All I want rescue Labrador, but all I need to sustain. So your political party coming, welcome. We'll make time for them. But we'll have to. And if you come, you're a guest, you won't overstay the time, you will pay for the time. You're not about to go sit down for after the 2 hours to be discussing anything. Or if your member then want to pay for the time for you to stay longer, they will pay. Think about the cash abnormal, and you will stay for the longer you stay, you will pay for it. We're not here for that thing. No more charge, no free thing.
So let me respond to somebody. Able, she's saying that we should make time for the viewer. That's the reason why Mr. Committee is coming. Actually, we're gonna have 1 hour of questioning, and then the viewership, the audience, we have maybe 45 minutes of back and forth with him. You call, we take few calls, he will answer, and then we pause, we take few more calls, he will answer, then we go again for 45 minutes to at least to 50 minutes. So yes, tomorrow is going to be that. We're going to make sure that the viewership will have enough time to interact with Mr. Cummings. That is the reason why he's coming. Actually, he was here the last time, but he didn't have enough time to talk to the people, and he promised to come back. So when he called me the last time, he said, he trying to see whether we can make Sunday available for him to come on. I said, when I talk to Steve, and when I talk to Steve, we confirm it. So he's going to be on tomorrow. So yes, you will have enough time to ask all of your questions. So Steve?
Yes, say Ali, you want ACO leader to come on? Contact me or contact Sekou. We'll tell you how much it costs or whatever it is, and we'll go from there.
No, but it can be before the end. Before this month, the end of this month is free.
Yes, it's free before. But by next month, starting on April, so you can say we'll be announcing it. So we don't want no voila, we don't want no noise. Mr. Kane, thank you. Let's have a good day. Okay. You say you're not paying fasting, no problem. When your political leader came in April.
Who's the political leader?
That Alexander coming in April, they said they're not paying fasting. Your
but let me say this though.
We don't want to order noise on this.
Honestly, I understand, but even though we're not charging people here, when the coming scheme the last time, on the cash out, they pay people then they donated more than $500, almost $600 plus.
Yeah, we'll get them credit. That's true.
Yeah, that one you got to get them that credit.
We'll get them credit.
Even coming come tomorrow, they say maybe they will because they can get money when they're president or something here.
Yeah, we must also.
At least we get them credit.
Yeah, we'll also. Tomorrow we'll get your credit. Yeah, today we'll give you your credit. We'll political leader can here we'll get your credit. Yeah, correct. So you're sorry.
So thank you guys so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everybody that donated to SKTV. We really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so if you don't get it today, former trade said that vote donation will be bigger than everybody, but we're not seeing it.
Well, when?
It's just in the air.
Mr. Canada, go make me out.
Former trade said vote donation will be bigger than everybody else's donation. But we're not seeing the donation coming. Okay. I keep checking for a need on the WhatsApp and Cash App.
Former trade follow scam.
But former trade say it's going to be sending vote on a donation, but it's not coming. It can't be.
We'll now say good night. Thank you guys.
All right,
we'll see you tomorrow.
You don't even know my story. You don't even know your story, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know on the Pavia Loca. So mora. You post your new car on Facebook. But that's so la la. You working part-time.